Um, so Eric, he will present us with a speech called "The Effectiveness of a Scholarship Fundraiser." Eric Gordon is the current Vice President of Marketing for his 501(c)(3) organization, Infinity in Motion. Their business model is raising scholarship funds for high school graduates heading to college. The feeling of accomplishment to see their grads receive additional funds for their college career is gratifying. But there are challenges that rise throughout the process of making this a successful event. Today, Eric will talk about how much work goes into this process, along with some of the bumps on the road. Let's welcome Eric Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. To all the Toastmasters that are in the building, and especially to all of our guests, I say welcome to Beyond the Seas. We are very happy to have you here today, and we're ecstatic that you have an opportunity to hear a presentation that's probably going to be very important for you or for someone that you actually might know. I am the current Vice President of Marketing for Infinity in Motion. Infinity in Motion is a 501(c)(3) that's been established to raise scholarship funds for children within a specific state that we attend, that we go to. And one thing that's very important is to understand how this actually works. What I'm going to do is give you a slight presentation of who we are. These three gentlemen that you see on the screen, myself to the right, Eric Gordon, to the far left is our VP of Finance, that is Greg Nell, and right there in the center, who's actually on this call, he is the CEO and president of Infinity in Motion, Terrence Barton. The three of us came together to talk about an opportunity to raise funds for kids, and Terrence was the one that actually birthed this idea. So we were sitting around in these chairs and we were discussing what options we actually might have to do this, and we kind of brainstormed for a little while, but we finally concluded this is an extremely important event because children today need scholarship funds like never before. The money that it is put upon them to graduate from a four-year college is astronomical. And we know how important it is for our children to get an education. And when Terrence brought this thought to us to actually do something for the kids, we hesitated to get involved slightly. But then we said, no, this is important. And so we came together and conceptualized the idea of how we might do it. And so what we birthed out of it was a company called Infinity in Motion. And we started with a simple promotional flyer. It just basically says we're doing a black tie scholarship affair. It gives you the date, it gives you the location, and tells you a little bit about where you can find information. That's the important piece for doing something like this. We have to grab the individual. Somewhat like going to a restaurant. If you go to a five-star restaurant and they bring you a plate, the first thing you're going to do is look at it. It has to be garnished properly. It has to have a great presentation. And once you see that presentation and it looks good, the party has already started in your mouth. That's what we're doing here. We're presenting the Infinity in Motion Black Tie Scholarship Fair through a flyer. So this is digital and print. And this is the flyer that we use for every event that we do. We started in Atlanta in 2018. We moved to North Carolina last year in 2021. This year, we're going to be in Oak Brook, Illinois for the next Black Tie Scholarship Affair. But the first thing you have to do after you conceptualize the flyer is you have to build a team. Your team has to be properly decided upon because each individual has an important role. And myself, Terrence, and Greg, we have the responsibilities of delegating responsibilities to each one of these individuals. They have to be on point. They have to be direct in their understanding of what we're doing. And they have to also have a vision themselves. So we have to build the vision within them so that they can go about doing their portion of it. We have to be able to hold everyone accountable who's a part of this event and make sure that they understand what role they actually have. And we have to keep them focused on the task at hand, which is to raise scholarship funds for kids. Very important. But along the way, there's going to be some trip ups. There's going to be some stumbling blocks. Ticket sales are very important. And we try to make sure that we reach all our ticket sales on a monthly basis because we have so many expenditures involved in what we do. We also have to make sure that we hold accountable everyone because at some point in time, some people become a little slack in their responsibilities. And it's our job to bring them back on point. Sometimes sponsors can be a little bit slow when it comes to responding to our requests. We know that they can be very munificent in their giving, but they have to sign the check. And so we have to continue to go out there and push and make sure that they actually go about and fulfill that promise that they actually said. Hotel negotiations are important. We want to make sure that they give us the best that they can give us for the price that we have because, of course, as a 501c3, we have a budget and we stick within the ramifications of that budget. When it seems or appears that the hotel is trying to take us a little bit past that, we go back to the table and start the negotiating process all over again. Once we come to an agreement, we sign the contract, and at that point, we are now ready to move forward with continual promotion for the Black Tie Scholarship Affair. Now remember, there are people who you might know that might want to get into the event for free, or they want a little bit more. So they are considered as the needy and the greedy. But our business model is the same and our narrative never changes. This is a point of raising funds for children graduating from high school, going into their college career. When we put all these things together, when we get past the trip ups and the stumbling blocks, when we got our team built and put together, when everybody is fulfilling their responsibilities, we also have to remember safety is first. We live in a time now where the pandemic has become part of our culture. So we do our part as Infinity in Motion to make sure that we ensure all of our guests, all of our patrons will understand that we are going to do all we know to do to keep you safe and keep you from harm and make sure that you have a good time at the 3-day event of the scholarship fair. What happens after the fact? We all dress real nice. We put on our best. We go out there and we have a good time in honor of our graduating students. They have a wonderful time there. And remember that these children are actually the honorees of the night. So all of us come out and we come to support them throughout the entire event. And I love it because everyone wants to dress up every once in a while. So we make sure that at the Black Tie Scholarship Fair, we let them know that you're going to have a great time. We're going to feed you throughout the 3 days that you're there, especially Saturday night. We have a great time. When it's all said and done, we have checks that we present to our children during the Saturday night event. At that Saturday night event, we make sure that the parents are there as well as the recipients of the scholarship funds. They actually feel a certain sense of kingship and queenship because all of these people gathered together on their behalf to ensure that they're getting money for their college career. This is extremely important, not only for now, but the future. And that is why the three of us, myself, Terrence, and Greg, we sometimes get out there, we start strutting our stuff. So I figured I'd just throw this one in there just because this is one of those photos that I really like. But we really appreciate everyone who actually support our efforts. So in conclusion, Infinity in Motion is our baby, and we are here to raise scholarship funds for kids. And when we're all done, we want to see a smile on the face of some children who are going to be very proficient and munificent in their giving. Mr. Toastmaster.